right? Italians have this huge book. You've seen it firsthand. I'm sure your parents have done it. My parents have done it.
What's up, everybody? This is the Growing Up Italian podcast, and today we have a little special episode. We have an Italian-American wedding episode, a guide to, something to follow.
Was waiting for this one.
My cousin Rocco has his wedding coming up. We're very excited, but it gave us an idea to give you guys a guide, what to expect in an Italian-American wedding.
Yep.
The do's, the don'ts, and how we got there, what to do when you're there, and everything in between.
Right from scratch. I mean, this was one that we wanted to do for a while. Never found the right time to do it. I got engaged not too long ago.
Congratulations.
Getting married
to
in
you
June.
and your fiance.
Thank you. Getting married in June. So this is going to cover from A to Z. This is the Italian-American wedding guide. If you're looking to get married, you just got engaged. If you're curious what Italian-Americans do at weddings, I hope that this video will help you in, making some decisions and what the whole process is like, especially if you come from a first-generation Italian family like ourselves. So
the first step is finding the right person.
Find the right person. I mean, I guess that's the most important step, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know if you found the right person? I'm not one to talk about love. I haven't been in many relationships. But what I will say is when you know. When somebody uplifts you, when they support you, the decisions you make, when they want to make you a better person, when they're good to you, they're good to your family, the family especially, if they're good to your
Taylor's
family.
great with the family.
So
she fits right in.
Yeah,
But was there
great.
a moment that you were like, okay, she's the one now?
I mean, to be honest, it was early on for me, just because I'm a serious guy. So when I met her, she never gave me the light of day, never gave me the time of day. She's always used to
curve you a little bit?
Curve me all the time. I wanted to hang out with her, take her out. No. So at one point I gave up. And then, 2 weeks later, she hit me up for whatever reason. And then it re-sparked it. Mm-hmm. And then I was just full
2
commit.
weeks? That's not a long wait at all.
No, but because we worked together. So I was seeing her, but it was small talk. I would ask to if you want to go for a coffee, which
how you doing, sir?
Fellas,
meanwhile, I doesn't even drink coffee.
Yeah.
I'll drink a coffee.
But fellas,
for you, baby.
a great first date is just casual coffee. You don't even have to do the.
You don't go for the drinks
night.
and the marinade, like a little.
Yeah, you could definitely do that too, but just you want to be casual with it. You don't want to make it so serious. I mean, a lot of guys, they want the home run date, so you got to play your cards right. You got to figure out the person too, but there's a lot of things to it. But when you know it. You just know it. It was that the first month dating. I was like, all right, she's gonna be the one.
Yeah.
So
right.
you meet her, you meet the family. They're good people.
No wasting time,
Yeah. Well, yeah. You don't tell them that right off the bat, unless you're trying to get extra brownie points.
Some girls
get scared though.
But some girls might respect it too.
Yeah, that's a bold strategy. You got to figure out the right time when to say I love you for the first time. But yeah, I mean that's definitely the hardest part, finding the right one.
Now. When was the time when you were like, okay, I'm going to get her a ring, planning to propose? The next part is planning the proposal.
Of course.
The ring, all that part.
Yeah, I mean, listen, coming from a family like ours, it was a no-brainer to me to treat her family with respect from the start.
So you asked for permission?
That's exactly what I was going to get into. Italian household our whole lives, the number one thing is if you plan on proposing to a girl, then the right thing to do is to speak to her parents first.
So was it just the dad or both parents?
It was both, and I was so nervous.
Now, how did you talk to her parents alone without her seeing?
All right, so I knew I was going to her house early on a Saturday morning at 10 in the morning. I say early, but for a weekend, that's early. So I hit up her parents. I texted her mom. I was like, hey, I'm coming over early on Saturday. Can you guys wake up at 7 a.m.? I would like to talk to you. Yeah.
Did you make them a coffee at least?
7 in the morning, bro. Some coffee, bro. Little cookies. They already knew. They had to already know what was gonna happen. But
so what? Taylor was sleeping.
Taylor was sleeping. Yeah, I made sure.
So what'd you do? Like Santa Claus?
No, they have a basement in the house, so we went to the basement, and I was like, listen, from the start, I loved your daughter so much, and I think it's time that I would like to propose to her. But before I purchase the ring, I would like to ask for your blessing. And I was nervous. I don't know why, because I knew they were going to be fine with it. They gave me their blessing. They said, of course, we always knew you're right for it. Yeah, the mother cried. The father was like, please take her.
No backseats.
So, yeah, no, they're good people. They obviously respected that I did that. So that, I think, went a long way for them, So that you definitely have to ask for permission.
All right, so how did planning actually doing it go? Because you actually did it big.
Yeah,
For anybody that doesn't follow Rocco on his personal Instagram, he set up the whole backyard like it was Tuscany, right? Like
listen, I'm not a knight in shining armor. Like I like to be romantic sometimes, but I pick and choose. No, but we were supposed to go to Italy that year, and that year with everything that happened, it was the summer of 2020. So you guys know.
Yeah, we don't gotta say the words.
Yeah. So exactly, but So we didn't go to Italy. So instead of going to Italy, I was like, you know what? Let me bring Italy to her.
Fire.
In her yard, I had her cousin and her brother actually set up like a Capri scene. So it was supposed to resemble Capri in her backyard. And, we went to the vineyards that day. So I had her like drink 2 bottles of wine.
Got it tuned up. How many times did you check that it was there?
Oh my God, I was so nervous. But in the car, I left it in on the side, the door on the bottom, there's like a little slot.
Yeah.
So I left it in there, and I was nervous somebody's gonna break in that day. But
Find it right.
So we're walking into the backyard. It is like the most nervous I've ever been in my life. I don't know why. I got that nervous because you have this conversation with them beforehand, like, oh, you're the one I want to marry, yada yada. You have to figure out if she's down to get married too before you ask. Like, I don't understand how people say no.
She says she's not ready. She wants to, accomplish more.
Yeah, but you're supposed to figure that out beforehand, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we had that conversation. So she was expecting it at some point. I totally took her by shock there, and obviously she said yes. But what I'll never forget is the way I said it. Like, I didn't give a speech like Sal the Voice. He gave a whole speech.
Beautiful. You're gonna make cutlets.
Beautiful thing. I literally said, "Will you marry me?" Like I broke. I was like cracking as I said it.
Will you marry?
Yeah, but obviously she said yes.
Yeah.
And now we're here. The whole planning process began after that.
Now, how much of a headache for somebody that might have never planned a wedding? How much of a headache is it?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Like, planning a wedding, especially when you're expecting like 340 people.
That's how many people you're planning. Actually, let's take a step back before we go to that. Mm-hmm. Your engagement party was bigger than probably 80% of people's weddings.
Yeah, a lot of people tell me that, like, oh my God, did you get married already? I'm like, no, it was just an engagement party. Yeah. We have large families, and it's crazy is...
Do you invite everybody?
No, it was literally only first cousins, her first cousins, obviously aunts and uncles.
Our 50 first cousins.
And then, my closest friends. That's the only ones that were there. And I had to leave some people out, which I felt bad.
Were some people offended?
But, yeah, there's definitely some people that are offended. But, it was supposed to be something that was just like, with everything going on in the world, I wasn't sure what exactly to do. So I was like, you know what, let me just have an engagement party that's, the closest people. But it wound up being like 100-something people. Mm-hmm. So even if it like it or not.
That was the biggest party we've been to.
Yeah, and that was a good time. I had a good time that night. Everybody looked like they had a good time. So, yeah, that was that. So now it's
full-blown.
Yeah, now it's full throttle planning for a wedding. And
what comes first? The venue?
The venue, yeah. The venue's like the first thing you want. So
how many venues did you go to?
So it was literally 2 of them. One, there were
only 2?
Only 2 that we checked out.
Because you guys already knew, had an idea where you.
I'm pretty sure they're under the same umbrella too. They're like the same owner,
same group,
same owner. Yeah. I forgot what the hell the first one was called, but just didn't like it. The venue's nice. The dance floor was small, and didn't really like the outdoors. Yeah, we want like a fun, spacious, occasion. So our cousins went there when they got married 3+ years ago. I forgot how long it's been now. But shout out to Mike and Annalise. They went to Venetian, and ever since then, I was like, oh, I love this spot. Taylor's loved it. So we went to the Venetian, and instantly, like, you just know, that's your venue.
The vibe's right.
So, and I mean, I know we're going to talk about this later on, but had to get a Saturday night. I just feel like
now, what's the price difference for the rookies out there that might not know?
All right, so
Friday and Sunday are usually... let's talk about Friday weddings real quick.
Yeah.
So Friday weddings, right? If you're a guest to a Friday wedding, one, if you're in the wedding party, you got to take off work that day. Everybody.
Yeah.
You got to take off work no matter what day it is.
1,000%.
But every guest that wants to come to your actual wedding, like in the church, got to take off work.
God has to, especially if they're going to the church.
And people that don't come to your actual wedding in the church,
They have to leave early from
they
work.
have to
or take
either
half a
leave
day.
work early or got to rush.
Right.
That they don't shower, they just
Traffic.
Yeah,
you know, who knows where they're coming from, you know? So that's why Fridays are an inconvenience.
Yes.
You know, it's not very friendly to those who are, you know, working all the time, per se. So for that sake, the venues charge at minimum $50. No, not half. Oh. At least $50 per plate less, at least.
Okay.
So I've seen where it goes up to $100, $150.
Let's talk about Sunday weddings.
Sundays, honestly, same boat, even cheaper. Because next day people got work Monday.
Yeah. So people don't get
so
tuned up as much.
You gotta take off Monday then. You know what I mean? So or you leave early for the wedding. You don't have as much fun as you would have on a Saturday night.
I feel like a Saturday wedding, you get this whole experience on Saturday, and then Sunday's like a hangover day. Usually,
yeah, everybody's together. You know, especially the close family. You have breakfast together, and then wedding's over. Next thing you know, 100 bands down the drain. for 6 hours
for a night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, it really is. It really is crazy. How do you go about finding the right DJ, the right, getting everybody on the same boat to get a suit? Yeah. I honestly, for your wedding, I didn't get my suit yet. When's it coming? Oh
yeah, you got about another month, cause
I'm trying to lose some weight before. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to do the same thing before I get it finalized. But no, you got some time for that. So there's a bunch of things to plan, right? The DJ, the flowers.
Shout out to Joe Zizza, right?
Yeah, DJ Joey Express over there, DJ Express. So yeah, finding him was easy. A lot of people already knew him. They're like, yo, you're Italian, bro. You need this guy. And I was like,
especially for the Venetian.
Yeah, right? And then I met him. He's good people. He's like one of us. So I was like, all right,
I met him too.
Yeah, I was like, this guy, he's a good guy. So he laid it out for me. He goes, this is what I can do. I was like, all right, let's do it. And then, there's photographers are important, like
videographer.
That's one time. You go into that day with, this is going to be the one time I get married. Hopefully that's what your expectation is, So you want to make sure you got videographers, photographers, the ceremony's nice, a whole bunch of things that I can't even mention that go around it, like a bridal shower, a whole bunch of stuff. But it's a bunch of little things that definitely add up, and it's the all that starts adding up too. And then you forget that the venue you got to pay 10 days before the actual date. So that's the biggest number right there. So it's just little things that you got to tackle, but setting that date for the venue.
You got to pay everything up front.
Usually they do like 20%, 10% deposit, and then half, and then eventually that day or 10 days before you got to pay the rest.
Certified checks, right? Or
yeah,
cash?
I got like envelopes ready to go already. Like, this is for them, this is for them, this is for them. But the venue, make sure when you do venue, do tax and tip included.
Because then they'll sneak it on.
Yeah, because then you'll forget all about it.
How was it getting all your groomsmen on the same page? Is that like the most difficult thing?
Bro, I got 10 groomsmen. That's bananas,
Honestly, I told Rocco too, and I'm not only saying this because we're on camera, but I've been in a couple of wedding parties, and this is the first time the groom is so hands-on. Usually he'll like pass things off to the best man.
Yeah.
Like, yo, do me a favor, cuz.
Do me a favor.
Handle the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Handle getting everybody their tux.
I don't know. I'm somebody who likes to always be in control.
Do I have to call Mike and ask him what's up?
You could. He keeps up with me, but like I have connections all my, like the bachelor party, right? Well, the groomsmen is just 10 of us, but the bachelor party is like 20 of us, 20-something. But with you guys, I talk to you guys all regularly anyway, so I'm not gonna make my brother do it if I could just do it. I like to be in control of some situations, but you guys make it easy for me. Besides one or two of you, you got.
We won't say any names.
You got chop.
Jimmy outside screaming over here.
No, but you guys are all good. You're compliant. You think my ideas are good, and I ask you guys for advice too, especially you. So you're easygoing, and you definitely
we're gonna have
help
a good time. I mean, what made you pick getting married in June?
Yeah, no,
picking is that a discussion
finding the right
date?
date.
To be warm,
Yeah, finding the right date. I mean, like I said, with everything going on in the world, another thing was everything was booked and
that's true.
Backed up or postponed. So the only date in June and July was June 11th. and it was a Saturday. And there were other dates, Friday, Sundays open, but I'm like, girl, I'm not doing that. I don't care how much cheaper it is. Like, I want to have a good time at my wedding. I don't want people worrying to go home the next day or taking off of work or rushing.
That's all part of the boost, though. Like everybody. Puts
we'll get into that conversation for sure. So June 11th was actually the only one available, only Saturday available for June and July, and then September, and then August is mad hot.
August is mad hot, and a lot of people take vacations.
Yeah,
too.
so and it's around the end of the school year, so it works out. So that's how we got the date.
Another curious thing is before picking the venue, did you try like the food and pick the menu beforehand?
So the Venetian's reputation is like, yo, our stuff is good already. Like, you don't even need to try it. We don't do tastings.
They don't.
I was super bummed out because I at least want to try it. Other venues do that.
Yeah, I feel
but that's like some like ego to have. Like, yo, our stuff's mad good already, and we've been there, so I knew it was good already. But you know what I mean? So
you might want to curate your own menu though, like
you
know, instead of this. I mean, but Italians, you gotta have a pasta dish like on the menu.
Oh yeah, 1000%.
Because like, let's say sometimes people like try to do risotto instead of pasta.
Right. Now some people get fancy with it like for no reason. So just play it safe, play it simple, and then.
What's your menu looking like? Do you know?
I have to finalize it a month from now.
Oh really?
Yeah,
yeah.
So
we're still in that process.
But the cocktail hour is all set, and there's all.
How do you feel about like some weddings that they send an invitation, ask what you're going to eat on the invitation?
Oh, my God. That hasn't happened to me yet.
No?
No, that's crazy.
It's like, how am I supposed to know I want chicken or a steak in 8 months?
There are some weddings that you look at and you're like, damn, it's going to be that kind of wedding. You know what I mean? Because we got spoiled. I mean, Mike's wedding, Jimmy's wedding, you know, they were great weddings. Yeah. So me, you know, being young at the time, I didn't realize that, like, they set the bar so high.
And what a fun time it was.
Yes.
A lot of women have the reputation of becoming bridezillas. Mm-hmm. Have you experienced that yet?
Honestly, not yet. That day, who the hell knows? You know what I mean? Like, Taylor's particularly,
you might have to ask
good.
Lauren, though.
Yeah, we might have to ask Lauren a couple questions. She definitely deals with the behind-the-scenes stuff like, that I'm not seeing.
You know, about the hair, the makeup,
I'll make sure you don't do this. Yeah. I mean, she's been good up to now. Like I said, that day, anything is fair game.
Another big thing at weddings is the invitations. How much did you pay for your invitations?
Yeah, I mean that's another thing. It, like little stuff like that, they add up. You know what I mean?
$50.
But I'll be honest, no, it's not 50.
No, what is it, like 15?
Yeah,
but then if you're sending out 300,
it depends on how nice you want it. They definitely range from like 15 to 25. It's up to you, whatever you want. I'll be honest.
Some wedding invitations are like.
I'll be honest. I don't really know how much we paid for them. Taylor like handled that. I'm just like, all right, here's the card. You know.
Yeah.
Take care of it.
Go ahead, girl.
But
spoil yourself,
baby. You can enjoy yourself.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's the things that make women happy. At least Taylor. But
happy wife, happy life.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So I don't know. Honestly, everything looks good to me. So what could look good to me doesn't look good to her, and what looks great to her looks still good to me. So I don't know. You know,
the biggest scheme in Italian weddings or weddings in general is the favors. Sometimes a favor, you know, because favors, you know, you got to give every guest a favor. And so many times it's like a random cup that goes in the china closet nobody ever uses again.
Many
right?
times.
Now, what are you guys doing for? Is it a secret? Because like some people go like limoncello shots. Some people go, we're donating the proceeds to this.
Yeah, that's happened
That's recently. The biggest scheme. Like, here's $100.
Well, I don't know. See, I went to the most recent wedding. Shout out to my now cousin Adam and Alyssa. They did something like you could donate to, because they have like a shelter dog?
Yeah,
you know?
Animal shelter?
Yeah, so they had a donation going out to that instead of favors. So I thought that was cool. That was a little different. Yeah, I mean, over the years, I feel like favors not even as common anymore. You know, we grew up where favors were a thing. I would like to keep it a secret for you guys. There's nothing crazy, but it's funny now that you mentioned it.
I think this brings us to the next segment, best part of the show.
Oh, we're
Your
ready?
favorite part of the show. Overrated, underrated, perfectly rated, wedding edition.
Okay.
The first one, Gombiet, a.k.a. Jordan Almonds. You could eat them, you could throw them.
All right. The Jordan Almonds. Honestly, these might be the most overrated thing at a wedding.
You don't think they taste good?
No, bro. Half the time you're breaking a tooth just eating one. And it's like, what is it, like a bootleg M&M? Like, what's the point of it? You know what I mean? I've had very rarely I've had a soft Jordan almond. So if it is a hard Jordan almond, then there's no sense. They're expensive for no reason. Mm-hmm. They mark up the price, maybe that's why. But
It's also good for like people use this.
All right, yeah, but you get rocked. You get rocked in the head. They get stuck in the bride's hair. Then forget it.
The envelope.
Oh man, see this. Do
you really want? When you send out that invite? Do you really worship that person's presence, or is it nice to?
No, of course you enjoy the presence, but obviously you want them to pay for their plate. So I'm gonna
and a gift, I'm
gonna say
or just a plate.
I'm going to say super underrated. Super underrated. Because a lot of times people don't know the right amount to put in the boost, right? Mm-hmm. For Italians, I feel like that's the number one thing. Oh, non scorda boost. Oh, how much you putting in the envelope? Before you go to a wedding, you're always asking like, yo, how much you put in the envelope? So now let me break this down for everybody, right? And this is going to be a long segment right here. But the way Italians are, what you give is what you get. Right? Italians have this huge book. You've seen it firsthand. I'm sure your parents have done it. My parents have done it. What you give for Tony's wedding in 2015, you write it down. What Tony gives for your wedding in 2018, you write it down. When Lisa gets married, what you put, you write it down. Write down everything just so you have the facts. This way, when it's time that the roles are flipped,
you know what to do.
You should be expecting the same, or you should be giving the same of what they did. Now, here's my issue with that rule, right? Italians, very old school people. But what about like inflation? You know, if Maria got married 10 years ago, and I'm getting married,
like now envelopes are up,
and I'm getting married this year, then I can't give what Maria gave 10 years ago.
So I can't give round up 50.
You know what I mean?
You gotta round up.
I don't know. Like 10 years, I don't know. I think the rate of inflation, you gotta apply that.
All right. So,
but another thing,
let's settle this. What is the right amount to give for a wedding gift at Russo's on the Bay on a Saturday night?
On a Saturday night,
you and your girl.
If it's me and my girl, I'm giving 3 each. So 600 total.
You want to come to my wedding? I was gonna say 250 each.
No, honestly, I feel like 250. I don't think that's enough, bro. I gotta be honest with you.
I'm sorry to everybody that invited me.
People are gonna hear 300 and have a panic attack. I know people 150, 200 is even a lot. Obviously, you give what you can. You always got to be mindful of that. But
what about the people that don't want to give gifts?
Oh my god.
Do you send them an invoice in the mail?
Oh my god, that's embarrassing. I don't even want to know what happens at that point. Like, if you go to a wedding and you don't bring anything, you just think to bring your presents, like, come on. It's common sense. You go out to dinner, you're paying for dinner. You know what I mean? You're going out to dinner. Yeah, you're celebrating somebody's occasion, but you should at least cover your plate, at the bare minimum. You know what I mean? But nothing is like, I don't even know. I feel like that's more embarrassing for that person who's giving nothing, because I don't want to be the person to say, yo, did you give a gift? I never got it. I'm not going to feel awkward about it. I'm like embarrassed for them. You know what I mean? But I would never do that.
All right, yo, you need it more than me.
I just like, you know what I mean? Maybe they're going through something. I don't know.
Just stay home.
Yeah. At that point, if you can't go, then just stay home.
All right, next one. Wedding favors.
Wedding favors.
What's a good wedding favor? Like,
I'm gonna say perfectly rated. The wedding favors. A lot of people don't even look forward to them anymore. I still do. I like to see a wedding favor. It's like kind of like a thank you. Thank you for coming to my wedding. Take this in remembrance of this night. It's nice. I like unique things. So like things that I kind of can use. It's really tough because I don't know, like
a cake cutter.
Cake cutter. I mean, that's the most traditional one, right? But
is,
how
right?
often do you use that? Whenever it's a birthday cake.
Listen, whenever there's a fudgy, summertime. No.
How many cakes you have in a year? But I mean, that is useful in a sense. Anything for the kitchen is really useful. But if I'm gonna get something and it's just gonna chill in my closet, or if it's like,
what about if someone gives you a fundraiser as a gift?
I don't know.
Your favor is
I just hope
$50 to the United Boys and Girls Society of Sicily.
My God. I just hope the money goes to the right spot at that point. Yeah.
The next segment: overrated, underrated, perfectly rated. Cocktail hour.
Ooh, okay.
Now this one. A lot of people show up late for cocktail hour.
Yeah, so
and there's people that.
But the
park
people
the car a half hour before.
There's people who show up late. Or the weddings on Fridays probably though. Yeah. Let's just keep it a buck. On Saturday, cocktail hours at 6, you got to be there at 6. Like, you can't miss it, especially at like some place like the Venetian. They blow it out the water.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna say cocktail hour is perfectly rated. A lot of places they kill it with cocktail hour, but a lot of places
What do you
also
expect to see at cocktail hour?
Bro, I want at least like 6 stations. At least it has to be
6. Okay.
So
A little slider
I'm
action?
talking sliders. I'm talking steak. I'm talking fish,
Antipasto.
raw fish, regular fish, fried calamari, antipasto table, like you said. Sushi, even. I know grown up Italian.
Maybe a
sushi.
little fresh mozzarella section.
Yeah, fresh mozzarella. Gotta have that. Bro, there's so many other things that I'm missing right now. But that's what I'm saying. At least 6.
Yeah.
It's gotta be at least 6.
Okay. What about the sit-down dinner?
I mean, this one's just as important too. Like, obviously, you stuffing your face in cocktail hour, but throughout the night, you're gonna be dancing, you're gonna be moving around, so you're gonna have an appetite still, and you're gonna be lit. Like, when you're lit, you want to eat things. So, as soon as you sit down, there should be like antipasto. Or, I don't care if you're having it again.
Bread.
A salad, definitely bread, butter, oil, whatever, Parmesan cheese, even if you want that, pepper flakes. But yeah, there's definitely got to be something on the table for you to munch on, because let's say the people that did come late, they should at least have that.
Yeah.
So I think that one's actually a little underrated, because a lot of people don't do anything, just the entree. You know what I mean?
Now, like, that's what I was gonna say. Is pasta a must for this?
Yeah, definitely. I think
a lot of people skip the pasta.
I think we're having options of 3 kinds of pasta, so you could pick. So I'm not really sure exactly how it works, but you gotta have the pasta.
Tricolore, you know?
Because what I think of pasta, right, is, you know, when you're dancing and it's like, okay, signori, mo venuta la pasta, and then they play like an old school classic song. Like, everybody go to your seats, enjoy the pasta. You recoup for 15 minutes, you say your speech, then back to partying, and then it's time for the entree. Go sit down. Well, it's like a nice transition point. It's like, all right, guys, take a little break, go eat.
What about having Viennese for dessert instead of just like a piece of cake?
And brownie.
That's an extra $20 a person.
Yeah, I mean,
$25 a person.
You pay for that extra. Some places give you an extra hour too. So I think the Viennese hour is actually underrated.
Super underrated.
Because listen, I have a sweet tooth. I'm looking forward to the Viennese hour.
What's the first thing you're looking for, Viennese hour?
Bro,
the chocolate
anything.
Fountain?
The chocolate fountain's a go-to, right? Like, growing as a kid, that was so fun.
The Sunday. I love how there's always a line of the old men for the espresso.
Yeah, always going darting for the bar. But yeah, the chocolate fountain, the amount of cakes, the amount of chocolates, the amount of snacks. I think we're gonna have goodie bags there, so everybody could throw stuff in. But I mean, the Venetian kills it with the Viennese hour, and it's worth your money. Like, don't be cheap with it. Like, what is it? An extra $15 a person for an extra hour of partying too on top of it. Like, you can't go wrong. You're already spending a lot of money. You might as well spend another G or two.
What is the biggest difference you think? Because we just explained Italian American weddings this whole podcast. What's the biggest difference with weddings in Italy?
I mean, you know this just as well as I do. I feel like a wedding in Italy is all day, all night, into the next morning.
Wedding in Italy is 24 hours.
Bro, it's the longest occasion I've ever had in my life. And I've only been to 2.
After.
Yeah, oh my God.
I hate it.
Some people go home and come back.
Come back. Except the bride and groom, though.
Yeah, except the bride and groom. But my God, they party. Like, that's like a 7 a.m. till 7 a.m. the next day.
And where our hometown, I've been to mad weddings where after the dinner, everybody goes back to their house, and the wife, the bride, has to make spaghetti.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine have to make?
Everybody
it sounds like that. Imagine having everybody at your house and you gotta make spaghetti for them,
bro.
And they also play some pranks on them too.
Oh, that sounds fun though. That's cool. Like, you look forward to things like that.
Like they'll tie up the couch outside.
Yeah, it's all right. You only live once. Shit. But another thing about the Italian weddings is the fact that I feel like double, triple the people. Like, I don't know how the Italians have all this money, bro.
The whole town.
They have literally 650 people at the wedding. So these halls are also huge.
It's cheaper per person.
It has to be, right? Yeah. Like, bro, can you imagine paying for 650 people? That's
$300 $200 a person.
I don't know. Maybe that's just Southern Italy, but that's definitely the biggest difference that I noticed.
What about destination weddings? Have you ever been to a destination wedding?
No, I've never been to one. Have you?
No.
I know the bride and groom don't expect as much.
I think exactly. I think if you don't want a lot of people at your wedding, do destination.
Yeah.
So then you have an excuse to cut out people that don't really fuck with you.
So would you do a destination wedding if you had the chance to?
I feel like it would be an easy getaway. Like imagine just locking in with the 150 people that you're most close with.
Yeah,
just
but
having them
a guy like you, I feel like you're the mayor of this
that'd
neighborhood.
be funny, like Bahamas, you know?
No,
crazy.
that'd be fine. I would definitely.
I used to
look
make
forward
jokes
that.
like having in Sanz and Shiravat with the goats and stuff. You know?
No, I mean I don't know how cool your parents would be if you wanted a destination wedding because they know a lot of people that they know probably won't come.
My dad would be My dad always says, "You gotta get married because I gotta get some of my money back."
Yeah, but that's how it works.
Yeah.
What goes around comes around. You know, it's all a system. But I don't know. Wedding destination wedding, I would love to go to, but I don't think I would want to be the one to have one, if that makes sense. But if you have one, bro, by all means,
I'm far off.
I'm saving like a whole week for
I'm
that
far
trip.
off. Maybe Mario will. He's next up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Before we go, is there anything else you want to cover? And
all right. So honestly, like the main thing for you guys, if you're getting ready for a wedding, just enjoy the process. I know it's very hard. It's very stressful. There's a lot of little things that add up, but it's a time that you and your loved ones should definitely be getting closer and, you know, becoming fond of your relationship and, you know, looking forward to being married with that person. Whether you do it in church or you just have a ceremony, whatever it may be, a lot of the bills add up. But in the process, enjoy each other, smile, laugh at the stupid moments,
Make the best of it.
Laugh at the angry moments. You know, you're only gonna do this once, hopefully, like I was saying earlier. So literally, just enjoy the process.
As always, guys, like, subscribe. Buonanotte.